After years of whispers behind gilded palace walls, months of emotional withdrawal, and a glaring absence that left the world speculating, the House of Grimaldi has once again stepped into the harsh spotlight of global scrutiny. But this time, the source of the unfolding royal storm isn't merely tabloid hearsay, it's straight from the lips of the man who once kept Monaco's silence sealed. Prince Albert II has finally chosen to shatter the wall of secrecy surrounding his tumultuous marriage with Princess Charlene, and what he said has only deepened the emotional waves already crashing across the principality. For years, their story appeared to mirror the idyllic fantasy of a fairy tale, a dashing prince from one of Europe's most exclusive royal bloodlines and a graceful Olympic swimmer with beauty and charm. Yet, beneath the polished surface of royal glamour, something has long been amiss. Charlene of Monaco, often photographed looking solemn, cheerful, or even physically withdrawn, has become an international mystery. Speculation ran wild. Was she sick? Was she being controlled? Or was it simply a marriage unraveling under the unbearable weight of duty, secrets, and betrayal? Now, Prince Albert's own words are confirming what many had long feared, that the relationship between him and Princess Charlene has been fraught with tension, distance, and deeply personal challenges. When asked about the ongoing rumors and emotional gaps visible to even casual observers, Prince Albert did not deny the cracks. Instead, he admitted that the strain on his marriage was real. It wasn't because of a tantrum, he said firmly, referencing the many reports that had painted Charlene as emotionally unstable, dramatic, or even mentally unwell. His brief but pointed denial of those portrayals sparked a new wave of questions, and offered just a glimpse of the storm brewing behind palace gates. But those familiar with the couple's history know that this moment of public honesty is only the tip of the iceberg. The saga of Albert and Charlene has long been riddled with contradictions, elusive timelines, and scandalous revelations. Chief among them, the presence of illegitimate children born from Prince Albert's past relationships, and not acknowledged publicly until the media and legal battles forced the truth into daylight. In 2005, shortly before his enthronement, Prince Albert confirmed he had fathered a son with Nicole Coste, a former flight attendant from Togo. The child, Alexander Grimaldi, now a poised and educated young man, was kept largely away from the royal spotlight, until recently. And then, in 2006, another child emerged, a daughter named Jasmine Grace Grimaldi, born from his brief romance with American Tamara Ruotolo in the early 1990s. Both children, though embraced by Albert in his own way, are constitutionally excluded from Monaco's line of succession. Still, their presence has had undeniable emotional and symbolic impact, especially for Princess Charlene, who entered the royal family with eyes wide open, yet unprepared for the magnitude of this emotional legacy. As Charlene struggled to define her place in a royal family haunted by secrets, her own emotional state became a topic of public fascination. Her sudden disappearances, lengthy stays in South Africa under the guise of illness, and physical distance from Albert, even during major national events, ignited worldwide speculation. Was she trying to escape? Was she pushed away? Was her voice stifled by the very institution she had married into? Insiders close to the palace paint a picture that is far more complex. While publicly, both Prince Albert and Princess Charlene maintained a united front, sources suggest that Charlene has often felt isolated, unheard, and emotionally overwhelmed by the rigidity of Monaco's aristocratic expectations. Behind the scenes, the weight of Albert's past, his confirmed illegitimate children, the relentless media attention, and the constant scrutiny, made it difficult for their bond to thrive. And then there's the lingering shadow of infidelity. Though never confirmed outright, Charlene's withdrawn demeanor, tearful public moments, and evasive body language only fueled rumors that she had grown disillusioned, if not completely heartbroken. Prince Albert's latest comments, though brief, are nothing short of seismic. His rejection of the idea that Charlene's actions stem from irrational emotional outbursts directly challenges the carefully curated narrative that the palace has long offered. It hints instead at deeper fractures, emotional wounds left unattended for too long, personal struggles too heavy to bear within the rigid confines of royalty. But why now? Why speak out after so many years of silence? Sources close to the Grimaldi family suggest that Prince Albert has been feeling increasingly pressured, not just by international media, but by the growing interest in his children born outside of marriage. Alexander Grimaldi, now 21, has been slowly stepping into the public eye, sharing moments from his life on social media and speaking candidly about his unique identity as the son of a reigning monarch yet legally unentitled to his father's throne. His recent interviews, in which he subtly challenged the label, illegitimate, have caused ripples within the palace, and may have triggered Albert's desire to regain control of the narrative. Princess Charlene, meanwhile, has returned to public life intermittently, yet her appearances remain guarded, calculated, and emotionally distant. Her most recent outings with her children, Prince Jacques and Princess Gabriella, were intended to present a united royal image. Yet, body language experts and royal watchers noted the absence of warmth and spontaneity, telltale signs of a family trying to project harmony while silently crumbling. Behind the grandeur of Monaco's dazzling yachts, rose-lined balconies, and high-profile galas lies a human drama as raw and painful as any. Prince Albert's confession may be a crack in the wall of denial, but it also raises uncomfortable questions about the price of royal life, not just for him, but for Charlene, for their children, and for the entire principality that watches their every move. The public now awaits Charlene's next move. Will she issue her own statement? Will she continue the royal performance, or will she follow the path of other modern royals, seeking freedom, individuality, and peace outside the palace walls? Only time will tell. The consequences of Prince Albert's public remarks have already begun to ripple beyond Monaco's pristine coastline. International media outlets have latched onto his words, dissecting every syllable for hidden meanings, and speculating about what may come next. For the first time in years, the prince has acknowledged the cracks, not only in his marriage but in the image of perfection the Grimaldi dynasty has tried so desperately to uphold. Meanwhile, palace insiders whisper that this wasn't a spontaneous revelation. According to sources close to the couple, Prince Albert's decision to speak out was months in the making. It reportedly followed tense discussions with his inner circle and advisors who cautioned that silence was no longer a viable strategy. With social media amplifying every perceived cold glance, awkward gesture, or solo appearance, the global audience watching Monaco's royal family was no longer willing to accept the "everything is fine" facade. For Charlene, these developments place her at yet another crossroads. The princess, who once described herself as feeling like a hostage in the early years of her marriage, is now more aware than ever of the limited space she's afforded within the rigid framework of royal life. The fairy tale she entered in 2011, during her lavish wedding that captivated millions, has slowly turned into an emotionally charged spectacle of restraint, control, and public performance. Her role as mother to the twins, Prince Jacques and Princess Gabriella, remains perhaps her most cherished and stabilizing duty. She is fiercely protective of their privacy and upbringing, ensuring that despite the swirling chaos, they experience as normal a childhood as possible. However, Charlene's desire to shield her children from the public eye has at times conflicted with the traditional expectations of royal visibility, further straining her relationship with the institution she married into. As for Alexander Grimaldi, his emergence into the public sphere is more than just a personal milestone, it's a seismic shift in how the House of Grimaldi may be viewed for generations. Despite the constitutional barrier preventing him from ascending the throne, his growing popularity, charm, and composed public demeanor have led many to speculate whether Monaco's monarchy is on the brink of transformation. Young, eloquent, and distinctly modern, Alexander represents a future that the palace can no longer ignore. And with Prince Albert now acknowledging his presence more openly, some believe the prince is preparing for a broader redefinition of family and legacy. But this newfound openness also comes with risk. The delicate balance between tradition and truth has always been a tightrope for royals. By pulling back the curtain, even slightly, Prince Albert may have set in motion a chain of revelations that could forever change Monaco's image. What happens next depends not just on what he says in future interviews, but on how Princess Charlene responds. Will she reclaim her narrative? Or will she retreat once again into the shadows of silence that have defined her royal journey for far too long? But one thing is clear, the fairy tale image of Monaco's ruling family has been forever altered. Prince Albert's moment of truth has turned whispers into conversation and secrets into headlines. And in doing so, he has inadvertently opened the door for a much-needed reckoning, one that confronts outdated traditions, embraces emotional honesty, and redefines what royalty looks like in the 21st century. Before you go, what do you think? Should Princess Charlene walk away from Monaco's golden cage, or fight to reclaim her voice from within it?